Clocks fall back an hour on Sunday for the end of daylight saving time. And while it's nice to get an extra hour of sleep, the time change can impact your health. Dr. Meghna Pathak from Henry Ford Health joins us now with more on how you can prepare. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Lauren.
So when it comes to affecting and impacting our health, how does that really work?
A lot of our body's regulation is done by what's called our circadian rhythm, really responsive to light and dark. Light stimulates our brain to say, hey, you're awake. Dark stimulates our brain to say, hey, make some melatonin, it's bedtime. So this change in time and change in kind of daylight exposure can make a big difference.
And for people who may have trouble adjusting when it comes to their sleep schedule, I can kind of regulate that and get ahead of it.
So definitely setting up good sleep hygiene is great for us to practice all year round, but definitely during this time of year, making sure we're avoiding screens right before bed, setting up regular sleep time, sleeping in a dark environment, kind of making all of those changes. The other thing we can do is really start to adjust our schedule as we move forward towards the time change about a week or so prior to, and just kind of start setting our sleep maybe back a few minutes every night so that when we do flip back that fall back that clock, our bedtime feels like our bedtime.
And is there one group that's more impacted than others? I know on TikTok, all the moms are like, okay, get ready. It's daylight. We're rolling back. Is there another
Yeah,
group in
yeah.
addition to kids who are also affected?
So kids obviously and little kids are affected differently than teenagers are, but really anybody who works, shift work, it can be really difficult. Being with all of the automotive jobs that we have here, a lot of people and hospital workers, a lot of people working shift work, and so that can make it really difficult to readjust to the time change.
And some people argue, like, why do we even do daylight saving time? Are there some pros and cons from your perspective?
I mean, so definitely having more daylight is always good for just for us in general, right? Sunlight helps us with vitamin D. It can help with mood. It helps with being a bit more active. So having that extra daylight during that can be very helpful. But these adjustments to the sleep cycle are really disruptive, and so there is some benefit to kind of keeping standard time throughout the year.
And doctor, I know during this time also seasonal depression starts to creep in and it can peak for some people. Are there ways people can get ahead of that too as we deal with the changing seasons and also how much daylight we're getting?
Yeah, so of course. So if you are somebody who suffers from depression, anxiety, seasonal affective disorder, and this is something that's known to you, getting ahead of medications, getting ahead of having your appointments with your therapist, with mental health workers, and really kind of making sure you're doing all of the other things to make sure that the sleep cycle isn't so disruptive. UV lights can help to get some of that little bit of extra daylight, exercise, being outside as much as you can when it is daylight, when the sun is out. Those are all ways to kind of get ahead of it.
And those are some really good tips. And I know everybody runs to Dr. Google, but if they want some more information and they want to talk to an expert, where can they find you?
So I am located in Farmington Hills at Orchard Primary Care, and myself, my partners, were willing to discuss this whenever you need to.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Pathak, for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks, Lauren.